More offers?
Hey guys, it's me again.
Going once,
Um,
going twice.
I'm not even sure this is gonna work.
Can I get a 7?
But here we are, Project AHO.
Sold
Enjoy.
to Master Selfree for 600 septums.
And this one's for a laboratory summary?
Lot number 2. A young female Argonian, freshly plucked from the Windtown docks. Bid begins at 450 gold.
800 septums.
Whoa! That's quite a bit from Sergio Verendez. 850 gold. Anyone to beat? Any other offers?
9.
1,100.
Lot number 2. 1,100 septums. Going once. Going twice. Who's more? Sold for a sum of 1,100 septums to our splendid guest, Sergio Verendez.
Sorry, Tamina, but I'm in desperate need of a new handmaid.
Swiftly moving on. Lot number 3, a middle-aged lizard, harvested from the woods of Falkreath. Starting bid at 500 septums.
Savages.
Surely this item piques the interest of one of you fine folk. No offers for such a shining old specimen? A shame. Please remove lot number 3 from the auction.
He is going to make a good
That's
purse.
a good lizard.
Oh, can we not? Oh. Rough.
On to lot number 4. A
Why does he have to
not
twitch?
man, not mer, but a slave. Designed for house duty.
Look at him go.
Or for either one. 300.
400, 500, 650 septums, 700, 1,000 septums, 2,000 septums.
This is
Maybe
practically a
next time,
steal.
Battle.
Any last offers? Who's more? Final call. This is your last chance. Sold. Master Selfree. Lot number 4 is yours.
You will serve me well, Enoi.
Calling me an Benoit. Bunch of savages. This is my new home. It wasn't so dark.
I see you are awake. Great, we have time for a little chat. I'm listening. You were sold at the slave market. Do you not recall, Sweat? You are my property now. A nameless Enoi without past. You serve me now. It's why, not when. You will perform your duties, and perhaps I make you my legitimate voice. That is, if I don't leave this place early. Have I answered all of your questions? I'm listening. In a cage, I suppose. It's your home from now on. For a broader perspective, you are in charge with Kegra, a secret outpost of House Telvanni in Skyrim. Soldiers, Kegra, you brocket! Our settlement is more than 2 centuries old. Pay over Milo a visit. He's the local historian. Magister of House Telvanni, renowned scholar, author of a myriad of works on ritual semantics. And your rightful master, Shanat Selfree. His name is Yargol Groshak, or Shaglak. Not that Tamok. From now on, you will address him with due respect. Yes, they did cut them off. All but yours, I had no need for a typical Noir. Only good for scut work and pleasures of the flesh. I was in need of an assistant who'd help me with my work and small talk with these done on my behalf.
Okay. Well, might as well.
Silence, you sweat! You are the cost of 2,000 septims! Don't get smart with me, or I'll have you scrub my
Sorry, I'm just
piss
insulted.
pot.
I go for 2,000.
No idea.
The Dragonborn, 2,000
Great
septims.
On second thought, you'd rather not. Henceforth, you are a blank slate. You will not utter a word of your past. Have I answered all of your questions? There are a few rules you must follow before I set you free. From now on, Benoit, you are forbidden to leave Sadrith Kegran until you get your freedom. You can go wherever and do whatever, as long as it's within the settlement. You are not allowed to talk about your past. If you hold the desire to end someone, you will find yourself incapable. You will tell me nothing but the truth. This doesn't apply to others. That's it, I think. Your amulet is now attuned and won't let you get loose. Get out of your cage and go take a look around. Take a walk around the city. Chit-chat with a local riffraff. But don't loiter too long. You have work to do.
So, I've actually given a lot of thought to how I would do a playthrough of Project AHO. It was actually what inspired me to make my YouTube channel in the first place. You know what, can I get rid of this guy?
We need to get back to your Vasker.
That's a shame.
All right then.
And one of the things I would do is I want to read everything, point out literally everything that's available here. Like, for example, that is new. Grape juice. And if I remember the mods I have installed correctly, I should be able to. Yep. I mean, I'm a slave. That doesn't mean I can't, you know, continue on with my alchemy. Is that iron? So the reason I'm hesitating is I want to read every book, read it out loud. And I don't know if I'm in the mood for that right now. But no time like the present. No one's even going to be watching these videos ever, I have a feeling. So alright, let's do this. Sadrith Kagran, A Brief History, Part 1, by Irver Milo. Sadrith Kagran is one of the most unusual places in Tamriel. Nowhere else has the magic and technology of two peoples intertwined like in this city. This series of books, dear reader, will acquaint you with the history of the foundation of Sadrith Kagran, the only stronghold of the great House Telvanni in Skyrim. Dwemer technology and Dunmer magic, in aggregate, allowed the creation of a unique city, hidden from all at the border of the two provinces. In good fortune, the cave, which at first seemed like a place of forced confinement, acquired a new look with time, revealing the full potential of the great House Telvanni. The history of our settlement began at the end of the Third Era, when on behalf of the Supreme Council of the House Telvanni, a group of scientists organized an expedition to the province of Skyrim, with the goal of studying and describing the culturological features of the Western Dwemer. Leading this expedition was Master Shanna Selthry, known for his myriad of works on Dwemer culture. With him was I. Irver Milo, who discovered ways of conjuring effortlessly, together with my wife, Talicia, master illusionist of the highest rank. Also in the group was an observer on behalf of the house, Marisa Verandis, and a young herbalist, Tamina Eleno. Officially, our expedition began in the Blacklight, where we hired a blacksmith. Varen Rendo and Marisa Verandis was joined by her cousin, Brayla Sendu. Possessing a map with an approximate location of the Dwemer ruins in the territory of Skyrim, on arrival to Windhelm, we decided to go south along the eastern path through Kynesgrove, from there to Mazulft, and then south to Shorestone, and further to Riften. The study of Mazulft, surprisingly, took several weeks, after which we continued on our way south, but were forced to turn off the road due to a flock of wild animals, as well as giants, encountered along the way. This led us to a cave where an entrance to an unknown settlement of the Dwemer was accidentally discovered. But soon we learned the name of the city. Oh boy. Bakalzarft. Shanna Selthry, who headed the expedition, decided to stay and try to get inside the city in order to further study it thoroughly. The mighty force of magic, for thousands of years, let not marauders the opportunity to penetrate Bazalarf. However, by our joint efforts, in particular Marisa Verandis and myself, the magic barrier was broken. More than half a year of painstaking work, Shanna Selthry felt the need to understand why Bazalarf, was built and what its true purpose was. It turned out that at the peak of its prime, this Dwemer city held one of the largest places of extraction of the ever-mysterious Aetherium, a mineral about whose nature House Telvanni had practically no information on. Later, an unusual Dwemer device operating on the Aetherium was found. According to Shannath, the device was a large planetarium, built by the Dwemer many years ago. Planetarium, okay. After receiving information about the ruins in Aetherium, the General Council decided to suspend the expedition until this mysterious city of the Dwemer was fully and thoroughly studied. By this time, the expedition that began in 3rd Era 431 lasted more than a year. This was the beginning of our expedition. The second volume of The Brief History reveals the details that forced us to interrupt our plans and found Sadrith Kagran. And there you have it. Part 1. Beautiful writing. And I'm going to risk stealing it. It's mine now. And this is one of the many little collectibles they have. I'll pick it up so you guys can get a closer look at it. This is it looks like a... Oh, are they called Centurions? Anyway, the gigantic Dwemer machines. This is them. Isn't it beautiful? It's called Warrior. There's a whole set of these you can collect. I think you're supposed to be able to do something with them, but I don't know. Do you know, Varkus? Anyway, I love this mod. As you can tell, this is one of my absolute favorite mods ever created. I actually contacted them a year ago because I wanted to know if they were ever going to do something after Carved Brink. But, yeah. And look at that, custom potions. Let me just reach over here. I want you guys to be able to admire all the craftsmanship that went into this mod. Unfortunately, yank. I think I'm cooking some food if you watched my last video. And, it's about time for me to check on it, so if you guys don't mind, I'll be right back with you. Excuse me. no further interruptions. But it's a short video. Alright. So. Custom lamp. Whoa. Okay, that's big and heavy. I'm just gonna put that right back. Okay, stay over there. Okay. Oh, can I get that potion over there? Probably not. A single nail. Look at that. Ah, these guys are savages. I want to get that potion down over there. I don't think I can reach it. If I'm lucky. Nope. Yes, I got it. Picked it up for a reason. It looked really nice. I don't know if it's custom to this mod. It probably isn't. Just a weak lingering potion. We'll have to keep it though. Alright. I'd free this person if I could. Oh, that's right. They get their tongues chopped out. Is he not here? Oh, he's not, so I have total liberty to do whatever I want here. And, he should not have left me alone in this room, because I am going to steal absolutely every book. But let's see if we can find the second volume. Because that's what's most important here. Oh, man. Just so many great books, but I really want the second volume if I can find it. No. You know, I think I'll leave this room alone now. For now. It's a shame though, I really want to read every book in here. But, don't want to overwhelm you guys with my horrible voice. So we're just going to come in here. I'm going to review what they want me to do. Looking for lost freedom. And he's already out there. Oh, is this another warrior one? Yeah, you're supposed to be able to do something with these. I genuinely don't remember what you're supposed to do with them, though. Oh no, did I drop it? Let's see if I can pick it up. Ah. There we go. Really like... You know what? We're gonna do 2 more books in here. And the goal is by the time I'm done with the playlist to get through all the books. These are fascinating, by the way. These are sealed spells. You take them somewhere into... Well, you'll see the city that they were talking about in the previous book. And you can convert them into spells. And I just love the craftsmanship. It's absolutely beautiful. So, here's the question I'm asking myself, though. The reason I haven't moved on anything. Do I want to keep things preserved? Or do I want to steal everything? I think I'm going to steal everything, but we're going to do it in bits, because we're probably going to have to come back here. So let's try to find another book. Which, this one... The Hanging Gardens, I think it's called. By the way, my dream is to have a VR title where you can actually read a book like you would read a book in the real world. That's one of my dreams. But since I can't... Okay. Oh. That's unfortunate. Let's take it to the table in the back room and let's give it a read. Okay. Hanging Gardens of Waston Corridale. This book was apparently written in Dwemer and translated to Aldmeris. Only fragments of the Aldmeris are readable, but it may be enough for a scholar of Aldmeris to translate fragments of other Dwemer books. Guide. Altmer Astrael, led with foot flames for the town center, or lay dead the quadrangular gardens. Oh, it's, as if bits... Exactly, I get it now. Ask the foundations and chains and vessels their naming place. Why did they not use solid sound to teach escape from the earth bones, nor nourish them with frozen flames? The word I shall have once written of... Hold on, guys. Thankfully, no one is ever going to watch this. Okay, that should be better. There we go. Where were we? The word I shall have once written of this art our lesser cousins speak of when with their admirable ignorance, but neither words nor experience cleanses the essence of the strange and terrible ways of defying our ancestors' transient rules. The translation ends with a comment in Dwemer in a different hand, which may be translated as follows. Put down your ardent cutting globes. Nbethild, your Aldmeris has the correct words, but they cannot be properly misinterpreted. Interesting. And that's it. Very short book. Alright, this is mine now. Alright, let's do another book. Let's see. Those I all know are classics. I think that's all classics too. Oh, that's a new one. Also, I love this mod because they have books that are actually valuable. Alright, let me get into the right position. The History of Steam. Translation from Dwemeris. Oberon Flast, Markarth historian. Every child knows the fairy tale about the cook and her boiling brew. But in growing up, we realize how ridiculous this tale is, because none of our wise rulers would have turned the cook into engineers. The true history of discovering the miraculous power of steam is a history of work and perseverance, just like any story of our past heroes. For the first time, we were faced with the power of transforming water, even in immemorial times, when our ancestors, in an effort to expand on one of the cities, went to the geysers. The acquaintance was not pleasant, but what it resulted in was a real treasure. One of the wisest Dwemer of that time, Delenzanarn, engaged in streams, escaping from the rock solid. They say he always carried on his person a whole bunch of his own scrolls in different fields of knowledge, and before his death, he burned them all, for he decided they were too dangerous for mortal minds. It is unlikely this story is true, because the wisest of our people have always placed at the forefront the dissemination of all knowledge. Howbeit, Zanarn set to work, and as soon as was possible, installed vanes in the wells. By means of gears and shafts, these vanes were connected to the ventilation of the city, which now operated itself. Some vanes twist the others. This is genius. It was no longer necessary to use mindless creatures and keep a watch on them. The powers of the mages were not needed. Only hot water was needed. The invention was followed by a logical question. Can such not a source of motion be created without the help of subsoils? Delen spent whole days poring over his scrolls, complementing them, and creating new ones. Filling the metal pipes with water, he lit fire under them, and out came steam. But the vanes would not move. Then he realized that the most important role is played by the size of the pipes, because the well of the geyser is narrow, and the underground reservoirs are huge. So he attached a narrow pipe to the wide pipe. This greatly increased the strength of the water flow. If someone had inserted a whistle into this tube, it would have started to whish without a doubt. But as was expected, the path to the application of the system was even more difficult because the water was ending and the fire was fading. Unfortunately, Delenzanarn could not finish off his work due to his grievous illness, but his knowledge was passed down to his apprentice, Kagakun, who with the help of mages created fire runes that can serve almost forever, and with his own intuition, reached the idea of closing the pipe system up. That was the first circulation system, which form the basis of the greater children of our people, the first automatons. There we are. The transliteration of Dwemeris, author Shannath Selthry, the illustrious Shannath Selthry. Which serves no real practical purpose for me in this moment. But there you have it. Translation of Dwemeri. I believe that's what it's called. Sorry, Dwemeris. Anyway, take that. Thank you. I think that might be it for all the books in here. Let's see. Oh, okay, well, we'll read it right here then. Oh, that's strange. Huh. Wonder what happened to it. Yeah, but look at this art, though. Beautiful. Look at that. Dwemer... Oh! The Vitruvian Man, I believe that's called. I could be mistaken. Yeah. Beautiful books. Just beautiful. Oh, interesting. Let's see if I can summon this thing. Guess not. That's okay. Alright, shall we continue with thievery? Or is there any more books to steal? I think I read the history of Steam, did I not? I did. Great Houses of Morrowind. Great Houses of Morrowind. In modern times, Morrowind is ruled by the Great House, the Great Houses, House Halalu, House Redoran, House Telvanni, and House Indral, and House Dress. Only 3 of these houses have interest in Vardenfell. The 3 great houses on Vardenfell identify themselves by their traditional colors. Red for Redoran, yellow for Halalu, and brown for Telvanni. Thus, members of House Halalu may be referred to collectively as Yellows. Not sure I understand that logic. Ah, okay. The Great Houses tradition derived from ancient Dunmer clan and tribes, but now function as political parties. Dunmer Great House membership is largely a matter of birth and marriage, but imperial colonists may also become retainers of a Great House, or may be adopted into a Great House. Initially, an Outlander may gain status in a house as an oath-bonded hireling, an oath-bounded hireling, pledging exclusive loyalty to a single house and forsaking ambitions with all other houses. Later, after faithful service and advancement in lower ranks, an Outlander may seek adoption into a Great House. Adoption and advancement to higher ranks in a Great House requires that a Great House counselor stand as sponsor for the candidate's character and loyalty. Finding a counselor to sponsor an Outlander often involves performing a great service for the prospective sponsor. House Redoran is one of the 3 Dunmer Great Houses, with holdings on Vardenfell. The Redoran prize the virtues of duty, gravity, and piety. Duty is to one's own honor, and to one's family and clan. Gravity is the essential seriousness of life. Life is hard, and events must be judged, endured, and reflected upon with due care and earnestness. Piety is respect for the gods, and the virtues they represent. A light, careless life is not worth living. Redoran settlements are designed in the Dunmer village style, built of local materials with organic curves and undecorated exteriors, inspired by the landscape and by the shells of giant native insects. Redoran villages are typically centered on temple compounds and their courtyards, with huts and trade houses gathered around a central plaza, as in the West Gash village of Genesis. Aldrun, the Redoran district seat, is exceptional, with its distinctive feature being the colossal prehistoric bug shell that has been adapted as the house's council house. As a result of its close relationship with the imperial administration, House Halalu has emerged as politically and economically dominant among the great houses of Vardenfell and Morrowind. Halalu welcomes imperial culture and law, imperial legions and bureaucracy, and imperial freedom of trade and religion. Halalu still honors the old Dunmer ways of the ancestors, the temple, and the noble houses, but is readily adapted to the rapid pace of change and progress in the imperial provinces. Unlike the other great houses, which are largely hostile to non-Dunmer, House Halalu aspires to live in peace and harmony with the other races, and to share in the growth and prosperity of the empire. Halalu public buildings, trade houses, and craft guilds, manors, and council halls are designed as simple, multi-storied buildings, roughly rectangular in plan, featuring arched entranceways and modest decorated exteriors. More modest one-story private dwellings follow the same plan, except with less decoration. Halalu plantation estates resemble temple compounds, with walled precincts enclosing outbuildings for craftsmen and servants, dominated by a grand manor residence in place of a temple shrine. The wizard lords of House Talvani have traditionally isolated themselves, pursuing wisdom and mastery in solitude. But certain ambitious wizard lords, their retainers, and clients have entered wholeheartedly into the competition to control and exploit Vardenfell's land and resources, building towers and bases all along the eastern coast. According to Telvanni principles, the powerful define the standards of virtue, and the Telvanni are unwilling to allow the ambitious Halalu to dominate Vardenfell's untapped resources by default. Telvanni architecture is dominated by the Wizard's Tower, a fantastic organic form grown and sculpted from stems, caps, and root-like holdfasts of the giant native mushrooms. Telvanni villages are comprised of smaller mushrooms, pods, hollowed out for craftsmen and commoners. Open-air markets often include the giant cages displaying the wares of the slave masters. Savages. House Induril and House Dress are the two great houses without holdings or interests in Vardenfell. Induril District occupies the heartland of Morrowind, comprising the land south of the Inner Sea and the eastern coast. The city of Almalexia is located at Induril District, and the Induril are orthodox and conservative supporters of the temple and temple authority. House Induril is openly hostile to imperial culture and religion, and preserves many of the traditional Dunmer customs and practices in defiance of imperial law. Dress District in the south of Morrowind, bordering the swamps and marshes of Black Marsh. House Dress is an agrarian agricultural society, and its large sultrus plantations rely completely on slave labor for their economic viability. Always firm temple supporters, House Dress is hostile to imperial law and culture, and in particular opposition to any attempts to limit the institution of slavery. And there you are. We have House Dress, House Induril, House Halalu, House Talvani, and House Redoran. And with that, we have concluded this book, this novel, really. And since I don't feel any reason to mindlessly steal, although maybe I could go for some moon sugar right now. Moon sugar. Yeah, why not? That's the spot. Don't give me anything, Barkus. Alright. So, you know what? Sorry, debating again whether I want to steal everything in sight. Oh, so those are the same things, obviously. But yeah, look at that. This is actually a thing from the base game. Pretty sure. Ah! VR, so tricky. Nice. Oh, let me know, moving forward, if there's anyone watching this, if you think I should steal everything in sight, or leave things alone. I was really hoping for a piece of clothing to get out of these slave rags, but I guess not. So unless there's any books out here to read, looks like we're about done. Oh, and then there's these things. Move out of the way. One of the Dwemer spiders. This is, by the way, the best use of VR, in my opinion. So yeah, look at that. Isn't it funny? Fight these things hundreds of times and to hold it literally in the palm of your hand and admire it from a completely different angle. I love it. Well, that's enough of that. I think we already looked at one of these anyway. Let's look at another one. Dwemer potions. Love it. Oh, actually I think that's another one. Oh. That was irresponsible of me. I don't know if you guys have gathered, I spend most of my time in VR not moving around like this. Looks like we got another book to read. The Snow Elf and the Variation Lens. Translation from Dwemeris, Marubal Sul. Oh, Lord. Mzulkand, the tonal architect, had spent 20 years attuning the great animus geode he'd found in Inner Dwefand, trying to synchronize it with the precession of the dual equinoxes. The precession of the dual equinoxes in order to captivate the Nirnpith essence. The geode's vibratory affinities continued to elude him, however, so one day he threw down his attenuators, left his workshop, and went to the kitchens for an infusion of chal. As he approached the kitchen portal, he heard sibilant music that cut off abruptly as he stepped over the threshold. His house assistant, a snow elf maiden named Liliarl, withdrew her hands from behind the steam grill and looked up guiltily. "I heard music, Liliarl," Mzulkund said. "What did you just put behind the calorifactor?" "It's nothing, Sir Dwarf," the maiden replied. "Just something I cobbled together to pass the time." "What? Have you been in my device closet again? Show me what you have there." Beautiful world building. Reluctantly, the snow elf reached behind the steam grill and drew out a fist-sized object of golden metal, crystal knobs glinting on its flange hood. Mzulkund held out his hand, open, and Liliarl carefully placed the object in it. "Don't drop it," she said. "It'll get detuned." Well, well, the engineer said. "So you've built yourself a crude tonal variation lens. Is this what was playing the music I heard?" "Yes, Sir Dwarf," the maiden said, gazing at the floor. "I hope I didn't do anything wrong. But with this device, there's nothing dangerous in a melodic repeater bauble, as long as it doesn't leak Bethune waves from its volumizer. Can't have that, might interfere with the static condensers." "Oh, don't worry. I use arcoid shielding. Not very much," she said anxiously. "But it's not a melodic repeater, sir. It harmonizes with my mental melodies." "Brilliant." "Nonsense," Mzulkund scoffed. Ugh. "No one knows how to synchronize a variation lens with mental concept cycles. It's never been done." "I wouldn't know anything about that, Sir Dwarf," Liliarl said, wringing her hands nervously. "I just flipped the duum emitter so it canceled the demi-octal waves, and it worked just fine. Can I have it back now?" "Hold on, Duum," the engineer said, raising a hand while he looked more closely at the gleaming device. "Flipping the duum emitters cancels the demi-actors?" Yes, I can see how that might work. This may be just the thing I need to attune my animus geode to the Nirnpith essence." As Mzulkund turned in excitement to take the variation lens back to his workshop, the elf maiden picked up a flipper strut with both hands and struck him across the back of the head. The tonal architect fell dead to the ground as Liliarl picked up her shiny device. "Never liked him," she hissed to herself. Always smelled like Dwemer oil. Then she opened the brazen the brazen louvers of a vent tube, crawled in and began lowering herself down through the innards of the Dwarven city. Guess I'm going down to join the Undermare, and not coming back. And with that, she turned on her variation lens, which immediately began harmonizing with her mental melodies. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Any more books? Okay, really? Oh, good, that's just dwarves. He's back.
You are distracting me from a particularly important mind process.
You're interrupting my readings. Jerk. Let's just get this kettle. Put this right over here. There we go. Wonder where that was originally. Anyway, I think we're about done. Yeah, looks like we finished everything. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'll leave you. We've explored the first house found in Cedrith Cagron of the Project AHO mod project. It's magnificent and beautiful. I recognize this. Flynn. No, stay upright. No, stay upright. Thank you. Alright. You know, I installed a mod that should be a different color. I hope the mod's working. Maybe it's custom assets for this mod in particular. Anyway, let's just talk to him to find out what he wants us to do.
If you're looking for a conversation, go converse with the mushrooms. You don't seem to be in a hurry, Enwa. Firstly, pick up my stuff from Baron the Smith. In the case you stumble across Murano, tell him I have no time to inspect his project. Here's a coin purse to pay for the job.
Okay, we got our first quest. A problematic neighbor. So, let's explore the rest of the dialogue for you guys.
He's working the forge most of the time. You'll find it with ease. Just look for the sign. It might be worth a check at the inn, too. Rodden's empty-headed son. He wanted me to take him on as an apprentice. His father was against it, and now he's nagging whenever he gets a chance. When I tell him that his son is one heck of a scamp, and there's no point in teaching him, Varen doesn't like it any better. What? This place? The place where you are standing this very moment. Well, it is relatively flat. Doesn't wobble. Doesn't crumble. Have I answered your stupid question?
Yes, most effectively, thank you.
Oh, Kegrenak, who these be? I held no interest in any sort of moronic nord, nor imperial conflict.
Alright, thank you for the mission, and I'll be back with you later.
What? This place?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
Where you are standing
we're done.
this very moment.
Catch you on the next one.
Well,
Thanks for joining me.
it's relatively
Thanks,
flat.
Vark.
Doesn't wobble.
We need to get back to your Vasker. Huh?
Very not.
Why can't I grip them? So annoying. Anyway, catch you all on the flip.